What's happening? My name is Blake Harris, and this is the Music City Mindset. We have a incredible episode for you today that really packs a punch, but we'll get to that here in a little bit. I want to take this time to really express my gratitude. If you like what we've been doing, and obviously a bunch of you have with the numbers that are coming in and the opportunities that are happening because y'all are taking the time to listen and to watch. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for the listeners. We are located underneath the Nashville Fit Network, and I couldn't be happier to be a part of Nashville Fit and be with Terry. The opportunities that they have allowed us to grab and take advantage of have been absolutely incredible, and I feel like we're just barely breaking the tip of the iceberg of what we're going to accomplish together. Terry, I don't know if you even watch these, but publicly, I want you to know I want to thank you for allowing us to do this. It's been an incredible experience, and I do feel like we're just getting started. I want to thank you for just letting me be myself and be authentic with this. It's the only way it's going to work. What else am I thankful for Terry? Not drug testing me.
We're officially adopting your youngest son.
Yep.
Throw that out there.
We're family. You'll see us on Thanksgiving now.
Yeah.
But no, this has really been incredible, and that's what we're going to be here to do today, is to talk about the gratitude and really just bring y'all behind the scenes of what we were able to do this weekend. The voice you just heard, owner of Board and Brush in Hendersonville, a dude that did some real UFC shit on a dude trying to steal a bunch of shit from Home Depot not long ago, actually. My best friend of like 3 decades, Evan Butler.
Oh, yeah.
Evan, this past weekend, we got media credentials.
Wow.
That alone, doesn't even matter what it's for. It's crazy. Who gave me permission to go anywhere?
Credentials at all.
Credentials, yeah.
Much less media field reporting.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you how many English courses that I failed through high school, college. When I'm telling people I'm getting into like journalism, media,
Right.
and it's like,
I feel like I need to tell my high school English teacher you were right and wrong
Yeah.
at the same time.
I know why you're saying what you're saying, but yeah. No, it was so we had the media credentials for the UFC. We got to be all a part of everything media, from the media day, the press conferences, the weigh-ins, and then of course fight night itself. And we'll get to that part of it, but definitely want to talk about Wednesday. Wednesday with the UFC was a crazy experience. I had to go by myself. It was middle of the week. Everybody has jobs. I mean, I have a job, but I was able to make it work to be there, and being a part of something so big of a production as the UFC, I really just wanted to go for the sheer sake of being able to see production and media on that level. I wanted to be a fly on the wall. I wanted to take notes, not about the fighters, not about the odds of who was going to win and all of that. I wanted to take notes on the media people and how they did it. I'm real new to this, so I'm trying to figure out what I can do and how media does things and how to do it better. And I got there early as soon as they opened. I got a nice little spot. And there was like 5 rows of tables, and I got an intentional spot, the very back row, far left. So I'm in the aisle in the back, just so I could sit back and watch everybody. I could see their screens if they were typing, like who's working on what and how to do this media stuff better, because I'm really enjoying this. And that's when it was just like really crazy, because all of a sudden a bunch of time went by, and now we're about to get started. And I guess the glitch in the media portal, that there were only 3 credentialed, approved media outlets for the media day press conference. You had this French guy from something licensed through ESPN, MMA Junkies or something like that. You had the Tennessean, which pretty big deal, at least here locally. And then me. And they moved me from the back row to the front row, and essentially told me that, like, you're going to talk to all the fighters, and it's basically weird if you don't. So there is no being a fly on the wall. There is no learning how other people doing it. it was kind of thrown to the wolves, which is not really what I had wanted because I didn't prepare a bunch of questions. But then I thought back on some of the things that we've been through that we really bit off more than we could chew. And I've really learned, that's how I learned the best, is just being thrown to the wolves and just having to figure it out. I realized I hadn't really pushed myself out of my own comfort zone in a while. That everything ever since opening the gym, even opening the gym, me having a gym makes sense. And it was just how it was going to work, but it wasn't a question of like being uncomfortable. I've been in gyms my whole life.
It's working better under pressure, though, really.
Yeah. And I feel like, especially doing this podcast and really understanding like people who do incredible things, the difference in the people that make it and end up on this couch and the people that are talented but aren't on that level are people that when the pressure's on and things get really hard, that's when something even better than what they thought they could do comes out. And that could sound kind of narcissistic because I'm talking about myself and bragging on myself, but I feel like I did pretty damn well for just figuring it out. Only one of 3 people asking questions to one of the best fight cards that Nashville's ever seen. And a couple of them were my favorite fighters. And then a couple of them by the end of it are now my favorite fighters because of this exposure and getting to know people. But that was a very uncomfortable day at first. Didn't want to mess it up. Y'all weren't even there. And I felt like if I messed it up for everybody, then y'all are going to be mad at me that I just have not just shown up. But I know that's not the right mindset to have. And I kept thinking about times and experiences from the guests we've had on the show and what they've talked about when they went through hard things. Because one of the questions we talk about is like, when you go through something difficult, like, was there a time where you wanted to leave Nashville or get out of what you were doing, stop doing this? And every one of them, yes. But here, this is what you do. You push on, you go through and you get through that hard time. And then now they ended up doing something great. And I was just trying to channel that and figure out how to be enough like the media that it makes sense that I'm in that room and that my name is now with the names of some well-respected media, but also trying to stand out and be different from them. The entire weekend, I didn't like a lot of their questions. Yeah. I didn't like how they treated the fighters. Of course, I still feel like I have an athlete mindset.
I mean, let's be honest. We saw a lot of high-level media people wing it, just phone it in. And I think back to DJ Adam, 2 Lanes. They both said the same thing, which we've heard now a bunch of times on this couch. Why not me? And I think we all felt that. I mean, I know you being there alone had to feel it. I felt it Friday, Saturday, and then all of a sudden it hits of like, I feel like I shouldn't, not that I shouldn't be there, but maybe I'm not qualified or maybe I'm not this. And that's always that second guessing. But why not? Why not us?
Yeah. And that's what I was trying to balance the whole weekend with this UFC experience was I want to be different from everybody, but not so different than when I speak that people like roll their eyes. Like I want to be taken seriously, but I want to be different because I'm not trying to do what they're trying to do. Our final product, when we're talking about the editing of what this video and everything that for this channel of what it's going to look like, we didn't really know what we were doing and we don't know what that was going to look like. And I feel like now reflecting back on the earlier days, Wednesday, Friday, even on the fight night of not really knowing the footage we're getting, the questions we're asking, how it's all going to work together, and they do. And I feel like that's one of the things of understanding the end game of what your particular type of media is going to look like is definitely having a leg up from going in just trying to figure it out.
Well, it had to feel good because you go back to Friday, you're thrown to the wolves. They bring you right up front like you're in trouble in class, and they sit you up there. You ask your questions, and then you have, and we won't name any names, but you have a respected journalist come up to you and ask you, how'd you come up with those questions?
Yeah.
And then what'd he say when you told him your answer?
Well, because the question was, because I think with what you're referring to, they were talking about they're expecting a knockout in the main event. You got Derek Lewis, who has most knockouts in UFC history, fighting a guy that is 8-0, 7 of which are knockouts, and dude's never seen the first round or a second round. So everyone was asking questions about this quick knockout. And I just, at that point, I'd gotten a little confidence. And it was like, okay, what's the opposite of that? This is the Music City mindset. So I asked about the mindset that he would have to like work to stay in if it does go to the second round, which is minutes in a fight that he's never seen at the UFC level. So it's on par with asking about the knockout, but the exact opposite approach. And that's what I was just trying to do. I was trying to almost do what they're doing, but do it the exact opposite approach. And I explained that to him, and he was like, oh yeah, I want to know about the knockout, but that's a great question. How did you think of that? And I literally told him that. I said, I was just watching what y'all were doing and then figuring out how to do the exact opposite. I even told him, like, no offense, but I'm not really I want to learn from you, but I'm not trying to do what you're doing.
And he learned from you, right?
And he said, I think you just changed the way I look at asking questions forever. And to have someone that's been doing this a long time, wants to be a writer and journalist and all that, for him to say that to me, my first day of doing like on-site media for something, that was the turning point for me of when I walked a little bit different for the rest of the weekend.
Yeah. Because
once we got in Friday, not only did I have y'all with me, right, which gave me a little bit of confidence in numbers, but I knew which room to go into. I knew, where the coffee was. I knew I didn't have to walk around like I was lost. And so by the time of like people knowing my name, by the end of it, I mean, the VP of UFC PR was asking me for restaurant recommendations and, things like that. So it was so small that it kind of put me up higher a little bit. And within doing that, then going into Friday when y'all got to be there with me was a lot more confidence. A lot like, let's do B-roll, let's get this shot, where I was like almost shaking a little bit going into Wednesday. And after that, the only question I had locked and loaded, and I was going to read the room, was the Derek Lewis balls question. Right. That was the only one that I had thought of because I've been a fan of Derek Lewis's for a while because dude's just crazy.
And he doesn't like reporters.
No, he doesn't, which was wild because the reporter who asked Derek questions right before me, you could he almost like agitated Derek.
What do you want me to say?
That's what he said. He said, what do you want me to say? How do you even really want me to answer that? Set the mic down and just kind of looked at him. And he was like, no further questions.
He told ESPN Live, shit, I don't know. Get out of here.
Yeah. And that was on the ESPN Plus that was happening behind us after the fact. So you got someone who has no fear about talking crazy to media.
Stone cold killer, by the way.
And I started asking my question, and it was a long-winded question to Derek. It was a two-part question.
Could tell when you started, he's like,
he cocked his head sideways, and his eyes were just staring through me. I was like, this dude. But like between the reporter before me agitating him, getting him all aggravated, and like getting a kind of smart ass, and then now I'm giving a long-winded question. In my mind, I'm not even knowing what's coming out of my mouth. It was like a out-of-body experience because I'm telling myself in my head, like, abort. Don't ask this. Don't ask this question. Don't ask this question. And it was the only one that I had prepared.
And he loved it.
So I just let it go. And to watch him, like, kind of smirk and smile and us have a good interaction.
You broke his character.
It was like, man, this is such a cool experience. And to try to do it different than the rest of the media was very hard and very uncomfortable going into it. But I think even like the VP of public relations, everybody kind of saw what I was doing, even if I didn't know what I was doing. But getting to talk to these fighters, especially in there, they hadn't really started their water cut yet. they're in a weight cut, but like Wednesday is like right before it starts getting miserable, which is why we don't do that on Thursday.
Right.
And I learned that for sure. But it was just a crazy experience to be able to like see guys that I've only seen on TV. And I see the clips from these media days. I see the viral clips and what UFC posts. But to be there and see what happens in the course of the day versus what gets snipped up for social media and things like that was very eye-opening. Realizing that everyone else was in there asking the same questions, trying to phrase it differently. They don't care if they rub the fighters or Dana or anybody the wrong way. They're just trying to get their little 15 seconds of fame by hoping their question is phrased in the way that someone uses that goes viral. And that's just not what I wanted to do.
It was almost sad for me to see because we're in the middle of an amazing moment. Some of these guys have just had the absolute hell beat out of them. And they're getting asked these questions, but most of the questions you saw were about what's next, what's going on from here, UFC China, White House, year away. And we talk a lot about trying to live in the moment and be present in the moment. And I think that was refreshing too, that like they didn't just forget what I did 10 seconds ago. They're in the moment with me.
Well, and it was sad for me too, because how far do you, like realistically, how far do you think we walked on Saturday?
5 miles.
Yeah, 3 to 5 miles. We'll call it, cut it in the middle.
Felt
we'll say,
like 5.
Say 4 miles we walked. But all of those people that were asking, that were only there in that building, it almost felt like the behind the scenes of what you don't see through social media is they didn't give a shit at all about what that fighter just went through. They only cared about the clip it of what's coming up, because that is what's going to go viral. That's what social media is going to grab. That's going to do what that. And they've been doing this long enough to know that.
Right.
So they're preparing for that. But we did what we all established. Like we did what no one else did. And that was we went back and forth from the arena. Our seats, which were second row, I still think it's hilarious. The funniest part of this is that we found our seats that weren't actually our seats. They were like up in the stands, and we're like, oh man, this is so close. This is awesome. Come to find, no, we're sitting second row on the floor. And I'm glad we did that early, because I had to have a moment to like decompress and process that. The imposter syndrome that I deal with even on a normal day-to-day basis came in so strong. It was almost overwhelming. Because every single person that had like production, staff, UFC, the moment they even remotely looked at me or started walking our direction, I immediately thought, oh, we're in the wrong spot. They're going to tell me to leave. I shouldn't be here.
Even though our names in front
had
of us.
stickers with our names in front of it.
There's no way this is right.
This has to be wrong. Someone messed up. Someone should not be letting me enjoy life this much. And I understand what we were doing. There was a dozen people there doing the same thing we're doing. Sort of, but you get it. And that's just their day, their 9 to 5, essentially. That's their day-to-day work, and it's just normal to them. And I don't think any of them are reeling from the moment that we were doing. But what I was trying to get to was the fact that we were sitting 2 rows from the ring. I went up, y'all saw me, I touched the ring because I got to touch everything. I touched the cage, and that's how close we were. But all of those fighters, to your point, that were asking about what's next, not a single one of them was inside that arena feeling the atmosphere, the electricity that was just pumping through Bridgestone when that fighter was hailed as the victor. And it's like, I felt like making sure we did both, and we went back and forth for pretty much almost every fight, that we felt what the fighter felt.
I almost feel it right now just talking about the electricity in the building was just
it's
insane.
Different when you're in the arena and you're up there and you're cheering and you're a part of the cheering for, but when being down on the floor, not being really allowed to cheer because you're media and you got to be neutral in this whole thing, you felt it so much more. Someone who played sports, played in arenas, played in stadiums, never felt anything like that. And to feel that energy that this particular fighter just made this entire arena, 17,000 people, go absolutely crazy. And then you bring him in the room with the media and they want to ask about what's next. It's like, you didn't just feel what this dude felt.
Not to mention, some of these guys just got woke up. They just got knocked out.
Mm-hmm.
They're barely coherent. And you're asking them, is your career over? Is this what's next? This and that.
How would you feel about being on this next card? And it's like, I just wanted to kick everybody out and be like, let's talk about what you felt when your hand went up in the air.
Or the other guy that I didn't think about it till I saw it, that like you see it on TV, you're a fan, you watch it, but to literally see somebody get woken up and their coach tell them, or trainer go, you just got knocked out.
Yeah.
And they don't even know what just happened.
Yeah.
You know, they went
walking by. They were walking right
in
in front of us when they were leaving, and it was like the looks on their face of like confusion. And then they got to go in there and ask, answer dumb questions. But like the questions getting to ask Nate from Clarksville when he was losing, but to hear an entire arena, 17,000 people chanting Tennessee, Tennessee. It's like,
oh man.
I couldn't help but to ask him about like what that felt like, win, lose, or draw.
Yeah, who cares?
To feel that. But that's not, as you could see, if you follow UFC on Instagram and things, those aren't the questions that social media is grabbing to. But it's like they just felt this electricity and you're skipping over it about what's next.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, that's very frustrating as someone who wants to, not to be cheesy, but like understand more about their mindset of what they're feeling in the moment. And it felt like the media forced every one of them, whether it was a highlighted moment or a moment that they don't want to reflect back on. But if we know anything about athletics, you got to reflect back on the losses even more so than the wins. And to just get into the media that just skips over it, that doesn't care that the entire arena was chanting your name. And again, I know that some of that's just normal for them if they've been doing media for years. But it's just, there was so much more that I wanted to ask. Because, I mean, there was a lot of storylines. You had Lauren, I believe it was her name, that was retiring. This was her last fight. Yeah. She had her story is getting into fighting because she battled addiction, and that's a whole different level of a fight. And, to wanting her to, come out on top after being victorious in one battle, wanting to see her go over to the next. And then that led to so many more questions that I had for her on like the mindset of being in addiction. Now you're retiring, like your identity is built up into this. How is your mindset going into this? Like
I was glad you asked what you asked though, because to hear her go into that, like, this ain't the end for me. I'm going into training and getting involved with UFC commentating. And it was like, man, good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you. UFC's changed her life. And she feels what I talk about a lot, what you talk about a lot. I got an energy from her that she was just so grateful to be in the building that it made me like, I wish there were more fights I could see.
Yeah. And yeah, I hate that my real first introduction into who she was her last fight, but I mean, there were so many storylines. And then the main event of the prelims, Chris Curtis, dog.
Oh, man.
Savage. He's going to, I'm saying it here. I don't want to jinx it, but, hopefully we'll be hearing a lot more from him. Watching him win and who all was in his corner was really cool to watch. How awesome and nice Wonder Boy was to me.
Yeah.
He doesn't know who I am. He doesn't know if I work for ESPN.
I know why they call him Wonder Boy now.
Nicest dude I've ever met.
Nice during the fight.
Yeah.
Anybody that wants to go back and watch the clips, they're smiling, dapping up, handshaking in between rounds.
He got caught with one. And then like laughed and like nodded like, yeah, that was a good one, dude.
Yeah, he's like,
and then like, and this did get highlighted, but when you're fighting an international fighter, you're going to get the USA chance and things like that. And when they won, part of it is how he acts on social media and things like that. But like the dude that won, the whole stadium started booing him. And Wonder Boy took him over to like on top of the ring and was like, "No, cheer for him.
Right.
He just won. Like,
This
why
is
are y'all
my boy
booing?
here."
Why are y'all booing the guy who won?" And so just watching all of that from so close, I'm glad we didn't get there right when it started and get there and have to work. I couldn't have done it because it was such a wild feeling being that close, feeling like wasn't supposed to be there. Meeting Bruce Buffer is
Oh wow,
that's just fun.
Phenomenal shape, by the way.
And then the Derek Lewis main event. It was being so close to him walking in.
Yeah.
Feeling like I got like a little head nod when we locked eyes when he went over.
Walked through. But that's what I mean. You went from asking off the cuff questions, out of the box stuff, to he immediately clicked with, "Hey, you don't look like an average reporter. You might be the next competitor." And then you ask him the questions you ask. And even in the post interview, after he answered the questions, next thing I know, I'm pretty sure he started interviewing you about what to do in Nashville. People really get that drunk. I see a lot of broken ankles. Yeah, buddy, that happens on Broadway
all the time.
It was Lewis versus teriyaki chicken.
What did he call him? The head taxi cab driver?
He said he was the top taxi cab driver. Very insulting to him. Nothing wrong with being a taxi cab driver. There's Uber now, but
if you are the final boss of taxi cab drivers, I mean, good for you.
Yeah,
you're doing it. But that whole situation, how quickly he ended that fight.
It was like a little sad for Teriyaki.
Yeah.
He was so confused yet again. He was just like, what just happened to me?
Well, he was trying to say there was early stoppage, but he used the fence to climb up, which you're not allowed to do. Like, it was a whole thing, but he wasn't walking out of there.
Lewis was punching himself, the ref, the cage.
I didn't want to get too close.
No.
It might have been in Ezra might have gotten the video. He walked by and like flicked off the dude from the Tennessean.
Yeah.
Like, well, like he was like, you type it on your computer.
Yet again, they immediately, you just knock somebody out. You just talk to the president on the phone. I don't care if you're a fan or not. The president of the United States is on the phone to congratulate you the minute you end a fight. And what's the first question they ask him? What's next? Who's next?
What was that phone call about? It's like
my wife.
You just had. I mean, that was the most honest answer the whole thing, and I mean that's real.
He said, "I've been training for 2 weeks. I've been cutting weight. My wife, she's next."
It's just, but like again, you just had. I don't know what the decibel level was when they called the match of the Derek Lewis fight. I felt like I was trying to say something to you, and you couldn't even hear me, and we're right next to each other.
The place erupted.
It was so loud, and to have the power to be the fuel source of that level of electricity, and then, again, the media that was waiting back in the media room because they didn't want to walk back and forth the whole time, which it was a lot, but you didn't feel that.
I don't know how old Kid Rock is, but I saw him jump in the air when it happened.
He did. I thought he was going to roll an ankle.
Right.
Will Compton caught him, but yeah, I mean, and so, I mean, that just proved to me more than ever that whatever we do with these cameras and microphones, I want to do it serious enough in a way to be taken seriously. That's not disrespectful to the network, Terry. Dad. But I want to do it so different than what they did.
Yeah.
Because I don't feel like it paid justice to what that fighter just did for anyone, no matter how big of a fight fan you are. I'm a fan of people who can control the room. I've said it a bunch on here. I don't care if you're a singer, a public speaker, a fighter, whatever it is. When you go into a room and you command control of that room, that people listen to you when you talk. When you want the room to get excited, you can get them excited. When you want them to get quiet, they can get quiet. Like, when you can control the emotions of an entire room, whether it's a small room or an entire arena, I want to spend time with you, and I want to understand how you do what you do. And I feel like none of the media care about that.
Right.
They just skip over it, and it looked like, I mean, you were in the room at that point. Like, it looked like Dana White, when he got on, to me, that is an honor to be in the same room as that dude, to be able to ask that dude some questions.
That's another one, though. The minute you started talking, Dana was annoyed with everybody in there.
Visibly annoyed.
Visibly annoyed.
Like, his body language was like, almost like, let's hurry this shit up.
You asked the question. He leaned back, crossed his arms, and started talking. And it was like getting a podcast interview. I mean, all of a sudden he starts talking about, when I started this is exactly what I envisioned. This is exactly what I wanted, And so for somebody that's chasing a dream, like us, to see somebody that saw their vision through is always going to be gratifying to us, because we know, like, not only can you do it, we can do it. Y'all can do it. Yeah. Anybody.
I mean, I was this close. I'm also not trying to rub everyone the wrong way. Partly, on one hand, I don't care, but the first time doing this, I don't want to rub everyone the wrong way. I was this close to being like, when Dana, because that one dude kept cutting me off.
Yeah.
And like, he ended up like asking like 3 different questions, like other alternating. And so Dana was finally like pointed, like, was like,
right,
you go. And I almost said, yeah, I appreciate that, Dana. I've got a non-White House question for you.
Right.
Because everyone's asking the same thing.
And he gave the same answer.
And they still kept asking it, and they still kept asking it. And it's like, he's getting like, you can tell he's getting antsy. He's like moving around. He's like getting aggravated. Like, I thought he was about to just cut it short. And like, I wasn't going to get to ask my question, because he was getting so aggravated at the media. And now it's like, seeing this, I can see how the athletes, the CEO, like, I can see how people don't have a great relationship with the media. Mm-hmm. Because at this day and age, whether you're these old boomers or, podcast chick or whatever,
they just want to spin something.
They just want to spin something for a potential viral moment. And, at one point, like, would it be great to have that moment be one of our moments? Absolutely. Who wouldn't? But at the same time, like, I just don't enjoy that, because even though I'm not currently playing, I know what it's like to be that athlete. And it's just not, I want to respect that athlete and respect the work they put out into their competition field, whatever that is. And I don't feel like the way the media approached it, looking for a viral moment, pays any kind of respect to what they just went through. I mean, the Derek Lewis fight was a minute.
Yeah, it was fast.
30 seconds.
Yeah.
He trained a whole camp for this, and then he left his hometown to get away from his family, his wife, no distractions, to lock all the way in for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Olympic athletes are one of the best examples. They trained for 4 years to do something like, if Usain Bolt, like 18 seconds. And then you want to ask a question about like skipping over what just happened?
Right.
I just don't understand that mantra. And I do think that paid off. Obviously, there's some things that are not always going to get talked about, but, going and hanging out with some of the fighters afterwards.
Well, and something we've talked about a lot since you started this, before I was ever involved, is that the authenticity, that when you don't try to fake it, when you're just yourself, when you feel it in your soul, it comes across. And the validation for that was when we went out afterwards. We're at the bar with these guys that just fought round after round, that have been beat up. One had 30-something stitches, but they're coming up to us. We're trying to leave them alone, give them their space. We're at the bar. They're coming up going, "Who are y'all?" Because we know, like, you're not the same assholes that have been asking the same questions.
Well, that one, I'm not going to say who it was, but was this your first time? And I said, yes. And he said, I could tell. And I said, how could you tell? I thought I did kind of good. And he was like, no, you did, but that's how I could tell that you were new, because it's like refreshing, because you asked a real question. not chasing a viral moment. And that's how I could tell you were new. And it's like, if he could pick that up, like, what are we really doing here? What are we trying to celebrate? Are we trying to do this for the fighters or for ourselves?
Right.
So that being said, it was an incredible experience. I was up till way too late, even last night, finding different MLB, NHL, MLS, NFL, like media credential application sites. I mean, I'm trying to do it all because it was an incredible experience to understand from the production side, on the producing side of it, from the media side of it, what is the end goal and what that's going to look like for us and the way we want to do media and what we're trying to celebrate. And I'm just excited for the future. We got this first one out of the way. I think we did a great job. I think we crushed it. Y'all be the judge of that.
We might as well open up a flower shop because if you're doing something big in our city, you're bringing something to our city, you care about our city the way we do, we're going to give you your flowers.
That's all we're here to do. And so we are about to take a break. Hear a word from our sponsors. When we come back from the break, we have a whole montage of all of the media day questions, the weigh-ins, some stuff from the fight, and even the post-fight interviews. We hope y'all enjoy it. I'm honored to be able to take y'all along with us on this experience. And I don't know what's next, but we definitely got some things cooking. And I don't know how to any other way to express the amount of gratitude that we have to do this and live life and enjoy the hell out of what we're doing right now. And I appreciate each and every one of y'all. And hopefully you like this montage and you like what we're doing, and you're going to keep supporting us so we can keep doing this. So make sure you hit that like, that follow, that subscribe, share it with your friends, tell them what we're doing. And for the love of Nashville, tune into the next one.
At Optimize You, we believe that normal is not optimal. Whether you've been dabbling in hormones or this is your first time and you want to know where to get started, we make the hormone optimization process very simple. Simply get started with comprehensive labs, and our providers will take it from there with you to review where you are right now and where you want to be to ultimately help you achieve your health and performance-related goals. So from our expertise in hormones, peptides, all the way to recovery services, we want you feeling at your optimized best so that you ultimately feel better physically, mentally, and sexually. Just like hormones playing a significant role in the overall optimization of your health, so do recovery services help your body on a cellular level. From our sensory lounge to our infrared sauna, full body red light, full body cryotherapy, cold plunge, we have a wide range of performance recovery services just for you.
What's happening? My name is Blake Harris.
I'm Evan Butler.
And this is the Music City Mindset. We are here at the Conrad Hotel in Nashville, and we're here for the official weigh-ins for the UFC fight that will be taking place in Bridgestone tomorrow. This has been an incredible experience. We've been here all week for all of the media stuff here, the press conferences, the weigh-ins. Evan, coming from where we come from, this feels like it feels like another room that we're getting the luxury of walking in that we have no business being here. No. We're getting wined and dined, but this, you're right, this is an incredible experience. Like, what is this like? I
mean, the energy in the building, and they've rolled out the red carpet, and I mean, tensions are high between fighters. UFC has done an amazing job at welcoming us, Nashville welcoming the fighters, and I couldn't be more pumped.
It's kind of weird because we're kind of just enjoying this moment, cutting up, joking around, but every person you walked by is just locked in.
Yeah.
I mean, and stone cold killers. I mean, these dudes are, and ladies, are just locked in. They're not even really acknowledging that we're here. But this is just the way they've treated us. When, again, I feel like we're just lucky to be here. We shouldn't be in this room right now. And the way they're treating us has been an incredible experience. Getting to know some of these fighters, for what it's worth, fan for life. Wonder Boy, Derek Lewis, fan for life. This has just been so cool to get behind the scenes and actually get to know the personalities outside the cage. I'm almost at a loss for words, which is crazy to say.
They've pulled the curtain back.
Yeah.
They really have. And
Well, these credentials here, we got to go behind the curtain.
Right.
This is, again, it's incredible. I made a post the other day to all of the listeners that make it where we can continue taking steps and create more opportunities. Y'all are opening more doors for us than I ever thought was possible. I mean, I counted it up. We're not even 36 episodes in. We've been awarded #1 local podcast through Nashville Fit Magazine, and now we're here with media credentials for one of the biggest sporting spectacles that professional sports has to offer. And it has been a wild ride, and it still feels like we're just getting started.
Yeah.
I think now's a good time to give a shout out to Nashville Fit Magazine.
Absolutely. Thank y'all.
Allowing me to just be myself is one of the most integral parts of this working and us getting these opportunities. I don't have to be in a box. I don't have to be what the media wants us to be.
Right.
And, Terry's the one who's really given us that freedom to do that and capitalize off of this. But here we are. We're going to get to work, and we're going to take y'all along with us for this whole ride. So keep tuning in. This is going to be fun.
£171, the official weight for Gabrielle Bonfim.
Thank you, Gabrielle.
170 and a half.
Official weight 170 and a half for Stephen Thompson.
2, 1. Thank you, Stephen.
Over here.
Yes, sir.
No lie, on my notes, preparing for this, the first thing under your name says nice guy. The first thing you do when you walk in, you complimented my beard, so thank you.
You're welcome.
You might go down in history as the nicest fighter in the UFC of all time. But when you're in the octagon, you are still a dog. Is that just the two ends of the spectrum for you that's balanced, or are you actually flipping a switch from this nice guy to the fighter?
I think I don't know if it's a switch, but I've been in the fight game for 27 years, man. It's crazy to hear me say that, but 27 years, and I know what needs to be done. I know it's business when I'm out there. I know what I got to get done. I know what he's trying to do to me. So I don't know if it's a switch, because there's been things that have happened in the octagon. I think I stepped on Jeff Neal's foot and he fell down. I'm like, that's not an honorable takedown. Get back up, stand back up to my feet. So I'm still there, but at the same time, it's sometimes it's a fight or flight mentality. For instance, whenever Kevin Holland smoked me in the head in the first round, I would say something switched. It's like flipped then, and I don't know. I guess the animal comes out of you. But all right. I'll say it's a switch that flips. I never really thought of it until you brought that up, but I think it is a switch. You know what this guy's trying to do to you. I've had a lot of people help me prepare for this and sacrifice time, sacrifice their bodies to help me get to where I'm at. So all that's in your head when you're stepping out there, so you got to get it done. So I would say, yeah, there is a little bit of a switch that flips when you step out there, for sure.
You just said you've been doing this for 27 years total. From when you went through your first camp, and now here you are, oldest in the UFC, coming on the tail end of your contract here, how has your mindset through a training camp evolved over time?
Well, obviously, the mindset's still the same. I just got to be smarter with my training. So, when I was 15, when I had my first, kickboxing fight, man, it was, I could go to one training session right into the next and feel fresh for every one of them. I could train all day long and just feel phenomenal throughout the whole time. Now, I got to really listen to my body. I spend more time in taking care of myself than I do training. You got to really listen to your body, more time in physical therapy, massage therapy, ice baths, and just kind of listening and honing in on yourself, so that way you're not injuring yourself. My number one goal at this point really is to make it to fight week uninjured. When I fought Buckley, I didn't spar for almost a month. I ended up injuring my neck and a pinched nerve. I couldn't really the whole left side of my body was kind of a lot weaker than my right. I remember I was throwing up like one, which is probably not a lot of you guys, but for me in my weight class, I'm like throwing up, 110 pounds with my right, and then I switched to my left, and I couldn't even hold the weight all the way up to like 40 pounds. I could barely push up 40 pounds, and it was just a complete shutdown of my left side of my body from that pinched nerve. And so I didn't spar. So I didn't want that to happen again this time. So I got a group of great guys around me who take care of me, give me the work that I need, and still give me a good look so I make it to fight day uninjured. So the mindset right now is to, listen to my body and make it to fight week.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
146.
Official weight 146 pounds for Morgan Charrier.
2, 1.
What's up?
Hey.
So it seems like everyone seems to just be talking about Nate's conditioning. So my question for you is, how do you plan on controlling the pace of this? And of your traits, of your fighting style, what should people be talking about?
First, I have a great conditioning too. I've been inside 5-round war around my career. I've been on a lot of fights. I've been all inside the 3 rounds. I never had problem with cardio, so we'll see who had the better conditioning. But I think conditioning is good, but if you take too much damage, conditioning means nothing because you get finished and that's over. So I hope he has a good conditioning, but maybe the better fighter will win.
What's up, Nate?
What's happening?
I'm a Nashville native, and for you, this is going to be as close as you're going to get to a hometown show. You got the 931 on the shirt, man, representing. Can you just start this off by telling us what this means to do this in front of what's going to be your hometown and all your friends and family with this?
Oh yeah, man. The crowd is going to be a little bit more, home feeling, and the punches is going to be a little bit more straight from the earth. You know what I mean? And we're both coming off losses, so one of us is going to lose twice, and one of us is bouncing back, and I'm going to be the one to bounce back this Saturday, and that's the mission. Could have been on Mars, could have been on the moon, but it means just a little bit more that my fans don't have to travel, thousands of miles and spend hundreds of dollars. They could drive in, see this show, and drive out.
Knowing that you're going to have that kind of support, how has that affected your mindset going into this camp?
Oh, yeah, the mindset it doesn't change, man. My mind's a steel trap. It doesn't matter. I've been all over the world, and Saturday night, it's a fist fight, plain and simple. Could have been in a phone booth or in the cage, or we fighting.
146.
Official weight 146 pounds for Calvin Cater.
Yeah, as you mentioned, this is a tougher opponent for you, but you were quoted kind of saying that you're confident that you could be the first one to knock Calvin out. So is there something that happened during this camp in preparation for this that gives you the confidence to have that kind of mindset?
I just have to believe that I can. Like most of us, we're just like, oh, I hope. And I'm like, I have to believe that I can. Like, I know I've been able to do it with everybody else, but like if I can go out there and knock out anybody, and that includes Calvin Cater, which is the hardest thing to probably do against someone who hasn't been knocked out, I mean, who else couldn't I knock out? So I have to go out there and I have to believe in myself. It's the hardest thing to do is to believe in yourself. But if you have the option to believe or not to believe, I choose believe every time. Thank you.
259.
Official weight 259 for Taliesin Teixeira.
2, 1. Thank you.
261.
Let's go. 261 pounds, the official weight for Derek Lewis.
Derek, what's up, man? All right. You've been at a high level at the UFC for a long time, and now you're headlining this fight at 40 years old. Hats off to you on doing what you've done in your career. I got a 2-part question for you. One, over the course that you've been in the UFC, there's been advances of modern science and a booming trend of cold plunge tubs. So the first part is, have you found more efficient ways of cooling your balls off? And second, how has your mindset changed from when you first started your career into this fight?
No, I still haven't found nothing to cool my balls off. But the way my mindset has changed, I say that I think I'm more dangerous now than I have been previously. You know, I'm more focused, more determined to get a win nowadays. And I think I'm more dangerous than ever now.
What's happening? My name is Blake Harris.
I'm Evan Butler.
And this is the Music City Mindset. We are coming to you directly from the UFC Media Center. We are bringing y'all along as we are here for Fight Night here at Nashville Bridgestone Arena. I'm excited to know what this is from a production standpoint. This has been absolutely incredible. This crowd is hype. The UFC is taking care of us. This is just an unbelievable experience to be here.
The energy in the building is electric. We've already seen a knockout. It is on fire tonight. People are hyped, and the crowd is more invested early on than I've ever seen.
Yeah, absolutely. That was the biggest thing walking in. Just for the prelims, the crowd was behind it. So this is going to be an absolutely electric night. Can't wait to show y'all what all comes on. Hey, congratulations on tonight. It seemed to be that you were inspired by Smiling Sammy Alvey, the way you were smiling and laughing while inside the octagon during the fight. What does it mean to have someone like that in your corner, and how much do you love what you do, man?
So, people don't realize that my first serious pro title, I left Ohio, and I need somewhere to go train. And I reached out to a former opponent of mine, Tom Glethia. Only guy that ever subbed me. And he's like, come to California. And I was like, I don't know anyone in California. He's like, trust me, we'll figure it out. This was years ago. We're very stupid people. So I go to California, and Sam Alvey welcomed me into his house. How long did I live with you, Sam?
What was that?
How long did I live with you?
About 5 years.
I lived with Sam for like 5 years. Like, his family was my family. I still like I love his kids to death. His wife is one of the greatest people. Like, this is my family for 5 years. So it's really nice to, like, you know, we couldn't have Sean in the corner for reasons, but you know, me, Sean, and Sam were part of the Team Quest, like you know, Dan Henderson's Team Quest, and it's just cool to kind of have that group back together. And for me, dropping down first fight after, you know, a shit loss, like, you want to have people around you that like have been in the trenches with you. And I can't think of two people who've been in the trenches with me, like, in that room more than Sam and Sean. So, like, for me, that was really fucking big. That was big. That was really big for me. And, like, I'm looking around, like, you guys have, like, you know, put me through hell. Like, what can this guy do? But the second part, I fucking love my job, man. I love this. Like, in the fight, he's doing weird shit. You guys see me talking to him, and I'm like, you don't, I'm telling him, I fucking love this. Like, let's fucking go. He's bouncing around. I'm like, nah, man. I'm laughing at him. I'm pointing. I'm like, bro, like, what's fucking? Like, I'm not here to dance. I'm not here to, like, run around and do shit. Like, I am here to be in a fist fight. But I don't care if it's standing on the ground. I am here to fist fight you. Like, I don't want to. And, like, I guess we're professionals in the UFC. We should have, like, better game plans, evolving and shit. At the end of the day, I'm just trying to fist fight you. Like, I always say, I'd rather fight than fuck. And, like, bro, like, we're either fucking or fighting. Like, you're gonna keep running, but it's gonna be one or the other, man. But, like, I'm here to fight.
How do you balance this mindset that you have of being kind of goofy, very witty, humorous, but also a savage inside of the octagon?
Understand this. Sean will disagree because he's Sean, but I'm not a depressed dude. I'm a very happy guy.
Kurt's a very sad man, you guys.
I'm a very happy guy. Like, I like to think I'm very happy. Like, my life is great. But since I was young, I've always wanted to fight. I want to be Chris the Fighter. I'm a very happy, smiling man. Like, you know, unfortunately, the worst thing about the UFC is, like, when you have bad moments, people see your bad moments on TV, and people have seen my bad moments. I am happy, smiling, respectful, and friendly to everybody, but while I'm smiling, I could eat you. Like, not like, I could literally, like, open you and eat you, and, like, I would feel nothing about it. Like, it's not balancing. I just understand my personality at this point. I'm a very happy guy. But I love violence. I love hurting other people. I'm never gonna run up on a random dude and punch you. I don't believe in that. Like, I've never sucker punched anyone a day in my life. I believe I'm gonna walk up and slap you with a glove, and we're gonna fucking duel to death. Like, that's just how I am. So it's easy for me to balance those because I'm not, like, worried about assaulting regular people. So I want I want something that's going to fight back. I don't want to hunt, I'm not a wolf hunting a fucking deer. I want to fight other wolves. Like, let's just see who does what. So it's easy for me because I'm not walking around, my chest puffed out, trying to fight people. Like, no, I want the worthy challenge. You guys ever watch Invincible? Like, I'm Battle Beast. Like, that's my thing, man. Like, I accept your challenge. Like, I just want to fight you. That's what I am. Like, in my head, like a fucking Battle Beast. I just want to fight a worthy challenge.
Thank you. It's not uncommon to hear a USA chant. What did that feel like when you heard it chant to a Tennessee chant? And were you able to hear that and process that?
Yeah, man, the whole moment, it was all good, man, but damn, it just stings. If I could have just pulled it off, I'll be walking around the house just saying, damn, for a while, but this is what we play, he good. I haven't followed a bum. I think you have to go back and everybody I followed got finish rates, at least 10, 12 finishes, you know what I mean? If you put my record up against anybody else's record, I've been fighting killers my whole career, and this is no different. He's cold, he's good, he's probably the best in France, you know what I mean? I fought the best of Russia, the best of Ukraine, the best of France, the best of Africa, the best of Canada, the best, worldwide. I'm really worldwide, and fell short tonight. Hopefully the fans liked it. This sucks, I fell short, but I ain't gonna lick my wounds, you know what I mean? It's the game we play. I took an L. I'm gonna hold my head up high.
Are you normally that exciting of a fighter to watch, or was that a little bit more amped up here in the crowd behind you like that?
Nah, man, that's me, bro. And that's me at 37, so it is what it is. I feel like I was, it's like the dude that jumped out the skyscraper, every floor, they seen him going, they said, it's going good so far. Until he hit the bottom floor and he got me.
You came out swinging out of the round, but going at the very end of round 2, I don't think he heard you, but you were definitely trying to get his attention. What were you trying to say to him right there at the end of the second round?
I don't know. I was just in the moment, man, and hopefully the fans got their money's worth. Hopefully y'all got your money's worth, and I got half, so it is what it is.
I think you still gained some new fans out there.
Yeah.
There's Nate over here. Just us. Your mindset in the ring, he looked really dominant through the first couple rounds. You in that arena hearing the Tennessee chants, the USA chants, what is your mindset when it feels like you have an entire arena but an entire country going up against you? Do you hear that, and does that affect you at all?
Sometimes I hear them and sometimes not. It depends on the moment in the fight, but you can feel the atmosphere, like people were pushing him and giving him really a lot of strength. So it was a weird feeling, but through my career I've been a lot in this type of fight with the crowd against me and everything against me, and then how my life plays out. So I'm used to it and I'm really strong mentally, so it just gives me strength. And I don't know, I always put myself in trouble in the fight, and then I get back. I don't know why I put myself through everything like this. I could have done a really easier fight than this, but it is like this, so I like it, and I'm happy to get a finish like this. It's beautiful to do it like this.
It was a very exciting finish. When Nate was in here, he gave you some credit for catching him and the way the fight ended, but you got the win. But he did say what he was able to accomplish in there, you're going to still be feeling that by Christmas time. How do you feel about the way you came out with that victory?
I don't feel anything right now, so I think in 3 days it's over. I finished. I won by knockout, so I can say whatever I want. I won that fight.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Derek, how does it feel when you come out in a city like this and hear that kind of atmosphere inside the stadium, all for you, getting behind you to support you?
Oh, that's crazy. It was too.
Yeah.
I think they got louder than the Houston crowd, so it was pretty cool. Maybe because they're probably all drunk, it's right down the street, Broadway?
Yep.
Yeah, I've been here for 2 weeks and I've been watching everybody else stumbling around. Everybody keep twisting their ankle for some reason. I see a lot of cast people with boots on their leg. They get drunk like that out here?
Oh yeah, all day, every day.
Shit, I need to, we need to wrap this up, right?
Yeah, last part of this, in the press conference earlier this week, we were talking about, just your mindset and how you've evolved over your career. You obviously assert your physical dominance as the knockout king. What's a mental edge that you feel like you've gained at this point in your career?
The mental edge is that knowing that I trained my butt off, I believe just about every fight that I had, that I lost, it was because I just got tired. That's all it was. And trust me, I have, like my wife will tell you, that I hate those losses because I know I was better than those guys, and that I know it will never happen again. So these last few fights on my contract, I believe that I'm going undefeated.
I'd be excited to see it. Let's party after this, man.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, thank you. You've said before that these fight night cards build the superstars of tomorrow. How critical are nights like this with this kind of atmosphere for building those future stars? And who should we be looking for on the next up and coming?
Yeah, this thing was on ESPN, the network tonight. It'll pull over 1 million viewers, and all of the fights from the early prelims all the way up to the main event. So, when we were getting into this business, this was literally our dream. Tonight, what happened tonight was our dream. We're having a fight night, sold out, in Nashville, Tennessee, and over 1 million people watching on ESPN. And that doesn't include ESPN Plus. So, this is living the dream. Let's put it that way, living the dream.
Happy to be a part of it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.